أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, there are two servants of Allah, both of whom have committed a very heinous crime. They have accused Allah of injustice. They say that Allah is unjust amongst Muslims and amongst the non-Muslims. They say that Allah is unjust. Allah didn't know what He did, and He doesn't know what He's doing. I'm sure we must all be wondering who these servants are and how they have accused Allah of injustice. One of them is the one who has envy in his heart. He harbors envy in his heart. And how does this translate into accusation of Allah of injustice? How does it translate? First, let us look at what envy or hasad, as it is in Arabic, is. The scholars of Islam have reached a common ground on the definition of the term hasad. And they said it is أن تتمنى زوال نعمة المحصول إليك, for you to desire that the blessings of your brother or your sister are yours and not his. If Allah gives His servant a car, for example, or He built a house, for example, you say, why him? Why not me? This is envy. And then some of them gave another definition, which is that a person desires that the blessings of his brother, yes, quite okay, is his, but he wants it, or he wants to be greater than him. Some of them have considered this as envy as well. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا تتمنوا ما فضل الله بعضكم على بعض للرجال نصيب مما اكتسب وللنساء نصيب مما اكتسبنا فاسألوا الله من فضله. Do not aspire to be like your brother for what Allah has bestowed upon him. For men is the allocation of what is proportionate to them, or to men is the allocation of what is proportionate to them, and to women is the allocation of what is proportionate to them. Allah said, instead of aspiring and desiring to be like your brother, فَاسْأَلُوا اللَّهَ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ, why not ask Allah from His own bounties? Why not ask Allah to bestow upon you what suits you, what fits you? This is what you should do. So this is envy. If you envy me because of what I have, remember, I didn't give it to myself, but Allah gave it to me. If I envy my brother because he bought a car or because he built a house, he didn't do it for himself. Allah gave them to him. So that's an indirect accusation on Allah of injustice. Injustice. You say Allah has not done well. And remember in Surah Al-Zukhruf, verse 32, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, نَحْنُ قَسَّمْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ مَعِيشَتَهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. For verily, we are responsible for the equitable distribution of resources amongst my servants in the life of the present. So Allah is saying that He's responsible for whatever we have. He gave it to us. So why the envy? What's our problem? The second servant of Allah that accuses Him of injustice is he who changes his creation. He strives so hard to change his creation from the original essence that Allah made him in. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want to be who he is. if you are guilty of the following things, that is an accusation on Allah of injustice. One, you bleach your complexion. You are dark-skinned, but you're not happy with that. You're not ecstatic. You want to change it. As a result, you bleach your skin to a very fair one or something very light. So when you do this, it's a way of saying you wanted to be fair, and Allah decided to make you dark. So you're changing it. Similarly, if you shave your eyebrow, that's number two. You shave your eyebrow and then you trace that spot with pencils. You trace it with eye pencil. You're guilty of accusing Allah of injustice. Allah didn't know what He was doing. He didn't know what He did. And then number three, for a man who pierces his earlobes and then fixes ring there, he looks like a woman. He's guilty of accusing Allah of injustice. Number four, for a man who also braids his hair, he plaits it. He plaits it to look like a woman. That's an indirect accusation of Allah, or an indirect way of accusing Allah of injustice. Five, those who engage in cosmetic surgery for no reason. It is not as if the doctor has prescribed that this surgery be carried out for a serious medical challenge, but just to expand the breast, the buttocks, and then the face to look beautiful. You overbloat these things. Allah didn't know what He was doing. You wanted it to be big, or you wanted them to be big. You wanted to be more beautiful than the way you are. So that's an indirect way of accusing Allah of injustice. And then number six, artificial creation of diastema. You file your incisors and then you create a hole in the middle or at the middle of your teeth. That's an indirect way of accusing Allah of injustice. Number seven, transgender. Today we find people who involve in that. They are women, they don't like it, they want to become men. Or Allah made them men, they don't like it, they want to become women. So they transform themselves in that manner. We have them around, but may Allah save us from this kind of fitna. We have them around. So it's an indirect way of accusing Allah of injustice. And then you also have number eight, the tomboys, girls who don't like their essence, their being. They want to become guys. They dress like guys. They do everything like guys. Their polo t-shirts, they wear their peacaps, they walk like guys, everything, always in the company of guys, because they want to be seen as guys. If you're guilty of this, then it's an indirect way of accusing Allah of injustice. Let us remember that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لَعْنَ اللَّهُ الْمُتَشَبِّهِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ بِالنِّسَاءِ وَالْمُتَشَبِّهَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ بِالرِّجَالِ. Allah has cursed any man who dresses, acts, and does things to make him look like a woman, and women who also do things to make them look like men. Allah's curse is upon them. And this is why some of the scholars have said that even as a wife or as a husband, while we are at home, we should not wear each other's fabric. For example, the wife should not wear the husband's fabric, and the husband should not also wear the wife's fabric, even if they look unisex. Some of the scholars have reproached this. This is our situation today. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us from all of this fitan here and there. Grant us the ability, the heart, and the iman to be amongst the few servants of Allah about whom He said, وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورُ. Only few amongst my servants are grateful to me. May Allah make us amongst those few who show gratitude to Him for the favors that He has done for us, rather than opt for what we think is the best for us. May Allah grant us beneficial knowledge, wisdom and understanding, and the ability to abide by His instruction, especially in these trying times, in this time when fitan have become prevalent. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا.